Hi and welcome everyone. I am Friar Tuck, and this is my epoch. Okay, so I am sitting at, I'll just show you guys. This is the coffee cup. Okay, so as you guys can see here, this is where I'm at. I am at Paris Baguette Bakery and Cafe. That's why you're going to be hearing a lot of this background noise. I do apologize. I am doing a noise gate for this recording now. I have been recording at the library recently because it's much quieter to be able to do my regular recordings. But for some reason, the library does not have very good internet. It's like maybe 7 meg down and a half meg up versus, where I'm at right now, I'm getting 400 meg down and 200 meg up. I mean, this is just stupid fast. So in order to be able to do a live stream, I need at least 2.5 meg up because, I'm uploading to the stream. If it were... this is going to be really irritating for me today, guys. I'm just letting you know. I probably won't spend very long here. I've been looking for a quiet place that actually has decent internet, but it's really, really hard to find a quiet place that has decent internet. So, that's just one of the plights that I'm working on here. And not only that, the echo here is just absolutely crazy. So while I'm waiting for people to come in, I am just going to kind of fill up some dead space here. Again, thank you for joining me on my live stream. Let me have a sip of coffee here. So let me kind of give you guys a little bit of an idea of what I've been doing for the last week. Okay, so for the last week, I have been working on getting ahead on my content, and the other thing is I'm also to the point where I am starting to really rethink, how I'm doing this channel, what I'm doing in this channel, and things like that. So when I originally started out, it was, I talked about the homeless issue. I talked about traveling and bugging out, and I talked about all those things, and I picked up a lot of subscribers while I was on trail, but right now I'm not able to get on trail, mostly because of health issues, and the other part is due to weather. I mean, if I were to grab a bus and go down to Florida, that's one thing, but I don't want to backtrack right now. If I go down to Florida, it's going to be next year if I do something like that. So that's just the way it's going to be right now. So until next spring, I am not going to be. I'm not going to be on the trail. Now, I will get back on trail a little bit here and there because I do like the trail. I like the city and everything. At least where I'm at. So being here in Cincinnati, there's a lot of things that I like about it. So if you're homeless and you want to make money, there are plenty of ways to make money without going out there and begging on the streets. So in Portland, they have something called street sheets, okay? Each city, and there are very few cities that do this, but each city has its own, like, a homeless newspaper, which talks about homeless issues and the homeless topic and things like that. Well, here in Cincinnati, they actually have that, and that's a telltale sign of what the area offers. Not only that, but what its view of the homeless is, because the homeless may not be able to work a job for various reasons. You've got those that have mental issues. You've got those that have drug addiction, but are functioning addicts. Because not everybody goes out and does it, and plus, they do interview you, and they don't just let anybody go out and do these street sheets. They do want to make sure that you are representing you're representing the paper in the best way possible. So it looks like I got somebody in here. Thank you for joining me. If you could say hi in chat and let me know how the video is and how the sound is, I appreciate it. Just to let you know, I am here at this coffee shop here, which is Paris Baguette Bakery and Cafe here in downtown Cincinnati. So if you ever come to Cincinnati and you need good internet, this is definitely the place to be. It's a little bit spendy as far as this coffee right here cost me almost $3. It's about as expensive as, going to Starbucks, but it is what it is. So anyways, just with the street sheets and everything, they offer a way for you to make money and to be dignified about it. Now, when I was in Portland, I think I made like 10 to 20 bucks a day, and I'd spend about 4 hours a day doing it. You're not making a lot of money, but the thing is you get assigned a spot, and that spot that you get assigned to, the people are already, they already know about it. Now, the good spots, those are hard to come by, and that goes by seniority. So when you first start out, you're just going to have to, kind of work your area. But the thing is based upon your personality and how you're able to interact with society and with the local population, will determine, your level of success with the street sheets. Okay, and then you've also got, you've got. There is a guy here that I met. I'm going to be interviewing him on Monday because he's leaving out of town on Tuesday. But I met another hobo that's just like myself. Now, the thing is he does, what is it called? He does the clinical trials. And so he travels around the Northeast. And, he was telling me a little bit about it. And this is going to be a little bit of what the interview is going to be about when I interview him on Monday. It'll probably come out the following week on either a Tuesday or a Thursday video, or I might just put it out this Thursday because of the changes that I'm making to the channel. With that being said, he was kind of giving me the down low. He makes quite a bit of money doing what he does, and it is what it is. So that's just one thing there. Let's see what else. There's other ways to make money, like if you are able to get yourself a verified address, you can donate plasma. If you are there are some people like one of the guys last night. Why do you gotta yell, people? I mean, you're in sorry guys, like I said, I don't like loud noises, and it really bugs me. That's why I don't hang out in places like this. But anyways, with that being said, all right, let me regain my composure for a minute, just because of you guys, I've got a noise gate on. You guys can't hear it as loud as I can. I mean, it's almost like being in a stadium. It's the noise to a point is almost overwhelming. But that's what I miss about being out on trail, is it was quiet, it was peaceful. You don't have to deal with loud people that think that they're having to scream across the street, or you don't have to deal with these loud cars, these people that go out there and buy these cars because they want to, let the whole world know that they're coming. And for me and my anxiety, how it's developed over the years, the louder the noises are, the more anxious it makes me. And so you guys will probably notice that on these live streams from time to time. But anyways, you could do, you could do the plasma. Again, you want to keep your mouth shut about, being in a shelter or whatever like that, because that is an issue. The other thing is, that you're going to have to worry about is, you will have to, there are, people that come by and will offer you work. So one of the guys in the shelter last night, he was talking about how he's got like a week's worth of work going and doing some debris removal. Since I had the live stream today, I'm not gonna. I told him I couldn't do it, but if he could get me in with the guy tomorrow and maybe a couple of days next week, I would love to go do something like that. So I mean, there are ways to be able to make money. Plus, the overall population, the way that the population works around here is, they look at you and they say, okay, you might be down on your luck. You have your reasons, and you can pull yourself up by your bootstraps. They kind of give you the benefit of the doubt, versus like the further south you go, they look at you like you're the scum that they scraped off their shoe. And the further north you move, the easier it is. Okay, guys. So anyways, I'm waiting for these guys to leave. So hold on a second here. Okay, guys, sorry about that. I'm gonna have to edit this out later on. But see, now it's quieted down. It's two guys that were just Anyways, if you notice the table shaking, it's because I'm getting super anxious. But anyways, with that being said, There are plenty of ways to be able to make money here. The way that the population looks at you and treats you is so much easier, so much nicer. They're a lot more understanding and a lot more tolerant, which is something that if you're going to be in this situation, whether you're a traveler, whether you're homeless, regardless of what it is that you are, you will have a better chance of being, you'll have a better chance to be to have success here. There's plenty of programs. They've got work programs here. So if you actually do want to get a job, they will give you a program to be into where it is actually helpful to you getting a job. Now, one thing I will say is that they're not really keen on those that are self-employed, or that those that do, work over the internet. So like if you're doing customer service and you need to go to, a coffee shop every day and do your customer service job, things like that. They want you to have an hourly wage. They want you to have, some sort of place to go. They really don't recognize the new economy that's coming about. Now, I was talking with an individual earlier today, and one of the staff, and he says, well, they're with the COVID and everything like that, a lot of places are still trying to catch up, and as far as recognizing that, but there are changes that are being made. It's just going to take some time. So I'm having patience with this place now. Over the last couple of days, if you've noticed, there's also been some of the videos that were up there have been taken down. Now, there's a couple of reasons why I'm doing it. If you want to know a little bit more of a deeper understanding of the reasons why I'm doing it, then you're going to have to subscribe to my Patreon and do the behind the scenes, so that you can get a better explanation of why I'm taking certain videos down. But the other reason is I'm not getting as much traction as I was hoping to get for the tech videos that I was doing, and plus there is a huge learning curve for me. And then not only that, figuring out how to develop the content, because I made the change and kind of started getting away from actual prepping stuff and started getting away from just getting away from my normal content. I've noticed that the channel has taken a severe hit. I'm actually backsliding, and so as something that I learned in sales is that when things start falling apart because you keep trying to do something new, you go back to the basics. And so that's what I'm doing, is I'm going back to the basics. I will instead of talking about tech, because I want to continue talking about prepping, but I want to do a unique view on prepping and sorry guys, again, I want to be unique about it. There is a new digital economy that is coming, and there are some people that are aware of it, but not very many people are aware of it. The automation that is happening and is going to cause a lot of people to lose their place to live, because they won't be they don't have the skill set to move into the new economy. Between artificial intelligence and also robotics, those two things, the automation of the workforce, the need for a large workforce is something that is not there anymore. We're not back in the days where we need thousands of people to show up to a factory to be able to manufacture goods. What we need is people that have a higher skill set to be able to maintain and administer that. And it's something that I'm going to keep beating, and I'm going to keep beating that drum until people finally start getting the idea, because I think that so many people have an aversion to technology. Now, the younger generation doesn't, but those that are like 35 and older, because we grew up in a time where part of our lives we didn't really get access to technology. I mean, I remember in 1989, 88, my Aunt Megan, they got her a computer for school. She was in high school, or in middle school at the time, and she was using command line. She was using DOS, and then when I was in high school, we were using Windows 95. And that was I really wasn't exposed to technology the way that this younger generation is. And so because I wasn't exposed to it, but yet I'm still in the workforce, just because I liked it when we didn't have the technology. I liked it when, when it was a much simpler time where, you actually had to have a skill set and have attention to detail. And you actually had to go out there and learn and look in a book versus going out there and searching online. Okay, those are some things that I kind of miss, and I think that there is a large portion of the workforce, at least half the workforce, that's still stuck in that mentality. And what I'm hoping to do by talking about technology in the way in which I am is to be able to, kind of turn your opinion around, because I've had to have my opinion turned around, because I really wasn't into technology just because of my experience with the IT industry. I wasn't happy with it, and so therefore I just, instead of keeping up on technology and keeping up on my skill set, I just made sure to ignore technology. And now, I'm so far behind that I have such a huge learning curve. And I think that there's a lot of people that are in the same boat, and those are the people that are going to end up losing their job, losing their place, because the unskilled jobs and the unskilled labor, that's going away. That's going to be a thing of the past. A high school diploma, was something that our grandparents and our parents, they needed that to be able to go out to the workforce. But now you're going to end up needing at least an associate, if not a bachelor, to go out into the workplace. And it's going to be more of a technical background, more of an understanding of the technical aspect of society and of technology, to be able to get it, to be able to, again, maintain and administer, because even the person that works HR has to know some sort of troubleshooting skills, so that they don't put all of this pressure on the IT department. And most companies, they don't really want to spend a lot of money on the IT department, because they look at it as a black hole for their They look at it as a black hole in their budget. Even though it makes them a lot of money, they don't really see it as a revenue generator. And so because of this, it adversely affects those that are in the IT industry, and they need to spend their time, focusing on managing the network and the servers, and very minimal time working on the desktop support side. So, if you're in HR, you need to learn how to be able to troubleshoot. If you're in management, you need to learn how to troubleshoot. It's more than, okay, turn it off, turn it on, okay, it didn't work, call the IT department. Because those days are going to quickly dwindle, and they're not going to be around for much longer, because, as not only we have a large portion of our workforce that is aging out, such as the baby boomers, and now we've got Gen Xers that are starting to age out here in the next few years. It's going to be a bigger issue moving forward, because our population is dwindling, our workforce is dwindling, and so therefore the need for robotics and automation is going to become greater, but the transition itself is going to be an issue. So if you are able to keep yourself up to date on the new technology and be able to have enough of an understanding to be able to do your own troubleshooting and to do basic administration to your machine, so that you're able to keep your job, because therefore you add value in the workplace. What happens with right now, we've got banks that are collapsing. And because they've got issues with their bonds because of the interest rates going up, and a lot of people say that the banks could have hedged their bets, but I disagree with that, just from what I've learned and what I know. With that being said, it looks like I'm really not getting anybody to come in today, and I'm used to having quite a few people here, so not exactly sure what's going on, guys, but I would love to, if you guys watch this in the rears, thank you for watching as you are. Okay, so we've got a lot of people that may end up losing their homes because the banks are losing their shirts because of interest rates going up. Then with interest rates going up, you also have insurance companies that are no longer able to carry mortgage insurance. And with the insurance companies not being able to carry mortgage insurance, that means that you may end up losing your home, not because you don't have a job, not because you don't have the money, but because the insurance companies won't cover you. And so we're going to start seeing a large portion of society, because of whether it be natural disaster or whether it be other issues, we have a large portion of society that is going to end up losing their shirts in one form or fashion, in one way or another. And so, just because you have a job, just because you are prepared, doesn't mean that you're going to be able to survive this without any issues. Even if you have a homestead and you haven't paid it off right now. Now, there have been plenty of preppers that have been worrying about that. Been trying to tell you, pay off your debt, pay it off now. If you don't pay it off now, then you're going to be stuck in a bad situation. Okay. With that being said, this is something. So, if there's anybody here, would you go ahead and click the leave a comment in chat, because I'm not sure if YouTube is messing up, and I'm not seeing my stats, or if there's something else going on here, because I'm seeing my view duration go up, but I'm not seeing anything else go up. Okay, so let's see here. So not only am I going to be talking about, continue to talk about prepping issues. Again, I wanted to get away from the name prepper in my name, and there's also some other things. Again, if you watch my behind the scenes, you'll have a better understanding of why I'm doing the things I'm doing. I'm not talking about it here in public because, there are specific reasons. And so, with that being said, sorry guys. Also, I didn't get sleep for a couple of days. Last night was the first night I got some sleep. But anyway, so I'm going to continue talking about prepping. I'm going to continue talking about traveling. Now, I'm going to be hunkering down here in Cincinnati for the winter. I may, depending upon what happens on Monday, I may decide to relocate to Cleveland. But I've heard some bad things about it. But, you always hear bad things about other areas because, oh, no, you don't want to go there. It's bad. As if, the area that you're in is really good. It's about opportunity. And if there's no opportunity, here, but there's opportunity there, it doesn't really matter if it's good or bad because you're going to be in a worse situation if there's no opportunity. And so, depending upon what happens on Monday, I went down and tried to talk to an intake specialist for a program that's around here that would kind of give me a little bit of, I get my own locker. I get a bed for, 60, 90 days. And then I have to, meet certain criteria as time goes along, as far as what they expect from me. And, I think that I should be able to meet that criteria as long as they're willing to work with me on what it is that I'm doing. But I walked 2 miles in the wrong direction and I had to walk 3 miles back. So I ended up doing like 5 miles just to get there from all the other walking that I was doing. I did about 10 miles yesterday. And so I sat down, I waited for about 2 hours, but the guy was so slow in doing the intake that, instead of being able to get me in, get me out, do a quick interview, it didn't work out that way. So, so I have to go back on Monday since I'm ahead on my videos and I've got my content going great. It's something that I'm going to have to, that I will be able to check into. If this doesn't work out, because I'm not so sure I want to stay over in the emergency shelter. Not that there's something wrong with it, but the problem that I'm having there is that the lady that's in management, she's on a serious power trip. Okay, so when you're in this situation, whether you're a traveler, you're a hobo, whatever you want to call yourself, okay, the situation that you're in, okay, you have specific vulnerabilities. So in this situation, your vulnerability is in order to be able to have a roof over your head and your basics to be taken care of. Because I'm up north, and being up north means that it's going to get much colder. So I have to be prepared for 0 and sub-zero temperatures. Also, it's rainy season, so I have my laptop in my bag, so I need to make sure to keep that dry. Otherwise, that I'm going to end up ruining a very expensive piece of technology that is also a tool for me. Okay, so I have all those things to worry about. So you've got this lady who is on a power trip and then uses the threat of taking away something very basic that you need as a way to be able to assert control and to kind of in a lot of ways to bully you. Okay, so for example, last night she's like, because there's two sides to the dorm, so she says, okay, everybody go to their room, because there's like 8 beds in a room and there's multiple rooms. Okay, and she says, I'll call you by room. Well, you know what ends up happening is my side of the dorm, they just end up going out there and bum rushing, and we're like, okay, well, whatever, we're gonna wait. Well, me and another guy, about 5 guys decided to wait, because on our side of the dorm there's like 20 beds. And so after a while, it's like, man, everybody's eaten. We've been here for like 30 minutes. It's time to go out. And she's like, you just need to go back in your room. I'll call you when it's ready. And it's like, well, lady, everybody else has come out. There's only like 5 of us left in the room. Well, don't tell me how to do my job. It's like, look, I wasn't telling you how to do your job, lady. I was just letting you know that this is what's going on, and we want to eat as well. We don't want to be forgotten about, because she's the only one managing it, and so therefore we're more worried about her forgetting about us, because it's happened. They're understaffed, and so therefore they don't get enough. They don't have enough resources to be able to remember, hey, we need to let these guys know that they can come and eat, because it happens from time to time where groups get left out, and then they have to come back later in the night and they get scraps or nothing at all, because they forgot to eat. Okay, or not to eat, that they forgot to call us for dinner. And so, after a while that creates angst, because you're relying on them for, a basic meal and a basic bed. It's not like, I get to smell dirty feet and ass and, listen to people snore like a freight train. So it's not like it's comfortable and it's great and fantastic. There are a lot of things that go on in there that it's just like, ugh, I don't want to deal with. I would rather have a roof over my own roof over my own head. But, that isn't in the cards for me and a lot of these guys that are in there, and so, to be able to use that as a tool to be able to, bully and intimidate other individuals within the system because she's on an ego trip, and other things like that, it's really, really hard for individuals to be able to tolerate it, because this lady, if it wasn't for her title and her position, she would be in a world of hurt, just because she has made sure to do this to quite a few people in there. Not just quite, almost everyone in there, to the point to where everybody just avoids her and tries as much as possible not to even interact with this lady. And apparently you can't make complaints about this lady because nothing's going to happen about it. So it is what it is. But these are things that are happening within the shelter system there, and I'm not sure I will want to tolerate that for much of a winter, and dealing with it, because I may end up out in sub-zero temperatures and I may not survive it because I don't have my gear. Now, one thing that I am working on is getting my gear together. Over the next few months, I'm going to be saving money off of all the money that I will be making in the different venues, so that I can get myself a new pack and get myself a sub-zero sleeping bag, and also just to make sure that I'm ready to get back out on trail by the time spring comes. So you're going to be able to experience that as well. So as far as the technology goes, if you guys find that interesting, I will be putting videos up from time to time, just sharing what I've learned about using Linux and kind of how Linux is working for me. I will do that. And let me see here. So I'm gonna do that. And then also, I do know that come springtime, I do want to tour the Rust Belt, and there's also a trail here in Ohio. It goes around the whole border of Ohio, and what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up hiking that as well. and I'm really looking forward to getting back out on trail and having some peace, because again, the big city, it's become too loud and too much for me to deal with in a lot of ways, because I don't deal with the loud noises, especially after being out in the woods for like 3-4 months, and then coming into a city. It all of a sudden, I used to be used to it. Now it bugs me, and that's kind of part of the thing of getting out into nature. But those are the things that are going on. That's kind of the direction that I'm going. So there's a video coming out on Tuesday. If you stuck around this long to watch, and I'm gonna give you a little bit of a teaser. There's a video coming out on Tuesday, and this video on Tuesday is something that you are going to want to see. It's kind of 9 minutes of hard hitting, just giving a sequential order of what's happening, what's on the verge of happening. Because traveling the way I have, if you're stuck in one city, all you get to see is what's going on in that city, versus going from Florida to Alabama to Georgia to Tennessee. Now I'm in Ohio, and and a little bit in Kentucky. So I've got to see the kind of the South, kind of the Midwest, kind of the East Coast, and the further north I move. Now I don't know if this is just because of what's going on in the South, or if this is something that is happening across the whole country. We'll find out here, because they're serving a really good food here, and they seem to have an abundance of food compared to down south, where there's really not an abundance of food. But they're also trying to get rid of the homeless population, and so you can run them out with the police. You can give them no place to be comfortable, to be able to pitch a tent. And then, if that doesn't work, then you starve them out. You stop giving them resources and making it hard. But I remember back in the day when I first started out, Houston and San Antonio, they didn't offer anything. You had to sleep out on a street corner. You couldn't get clothes. If you wanted to eat, you had to go stand in front of a McDonald's or a Burger King, because they didn't offer any food. So, just because they're doing these things does not mean that they're going to get rid of the homeless population. It just means that they're being malicious towards the population. Okay, and so this is part of what I'm talking about. And then because I have somebody that's kind of advising me. He went to school for media, and he's kind of given me some tips on how to make my videos better and to make content better. And so one of his suggestions was that I take, because it's really dense. The video on Tuesday that's coming out is really, really dense. And it leaves the door open for me to take each one of those topics that I'm talking about in that video and expand on them one by one. And so that's kind of where I'm looking at right now, as far as what it is that content that I'm creating in the future. But this is what's coming out on Tuesday. So anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut this live stream short, since it doesn't look like we're having any viewers. I have not seen anything in chat. I hope that you all are doing well. I'm used to having at least 3 or 4 people in here, but not today. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on. But I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for being a subscriber. And make sure to stay tuned and and participate along the way, because the reasons that you guys decided to come here and become a subscriber, those reasons are still valid. And I'm hoping that you came here because I offered a unique opportunity and a unique point of view on prepping and what's really happening in the world. And as somebody, as another guy, so I've met some pretty cool people along the way. In Chattanooga, right before I left, I met a golf pro who got sick, and he had to go off tour. But he was a well-known golfer. He asked me to keep his name quiet, so I'm not giving his name. Another guy that I've met here in the Cincinnati area, he is a screenwriter. He's part of the strike that's going on. And so he is kind of telling me, he's just kind of traveling and sorting his oats and stuff like that. But, this is affecting everyone. And, there's not going to be a single person that's going to be able to escape this in one form or fashion. So I'm hoping that you get to see my unique point of view and understand. I was originally going on this one topic again. So one of the things that the screenwriter was telling me is that you can go to school, you can learn, but experience trumps learning. And with what I'm doing, I've got the experience. You get to see real world what's going on, and maybe I will get much better at documenting it so that you guys can see it, and maybe I will also get to a point where I get back to doing daily videos again. Okay, so with that being said, guys, I'm gonna go ahead. The links are in the description if you want to help the channel out by being more than just a subscriber. Being a subscriber is very valuable to me, and I appreciate you being my subscriber. But what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end this live stream. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next Saturday in my live stream. Until then, have a great day. Have a great weekend, guys. Stay safe, and keep your head on a swivel.